Hi everyone, welcome to the Nurse Preceptor channel on YouTube. My name's Hillary, I'm your nurse preceptor. And today I'm going to be talking to those of you who are in nursing school or people who are considering switching their major over to nursing. So I'm mostly this is going to be more relevant to people who are now approaching their upper division classes. For any of you who aren't in nursing school, you start out in your prerequisite or lower division nursing classes, and then once you're accepted into the nursing program, it's kind of like pedal to the metal. The rest of the time you're in school, you are doing nursing every day, and the classes are pretty intense. It's a lot of content to cover, and the instructors sometimes have some very different expectations of you as nursing students compared to your other undergraduate instructors. So I wanted to go over a few things to help you to survive the experience of nursing school. I have been a nurse since 1999, and I was a nursing instructor for 8 years and worked exclusively with undergraduate nurses, so I can tell you a few things about nursing school. I also recently finished my own nurse practitioner program at Duke University, so I've been in the shoes of people who are students pretty recently. And so I wanted to share with you some of my survival tips for making it through the classroom experience of nursing school. So I have some very basic tips for you that will help you to develop a good rapport with your instructor, and it will help you to get the most out of your nursing school experience. Please be on time for your lecture classes and let your instructor know if you're not going to be there or if you're going to be late. We really appreciate the courtesy, and if you can't make it for some reason and you couldn't get hold of us before, at least have the courtesy to apologize afterward and let us know what was going on. We do understand when emergencies come up because we're human. Please look put together for class. You don't want to come in looking like you just came from the party and you're hungover and you're sloppy, or you're wearing your jammies because you just couldn't trouble yourself to get dressed. We have to show up at this hour. The least you could do is try to look presentable. Try to also look interested if you can. You might actually find that it helps you to feel more interested if you try to look engaged. Eat before class. No one wants to smell your greasy fast food when it's first thing in the morning. Nothing makes me sicker than smelling one of those bacon, biscuit, whatever things that people used to bring into class. And besides, none of us want to hear the paper rattling, and none of us want to hear you crunching on your food. And it cut off here, but I also said, try not to fall asleep in class. And if you find that you're dozing, which we all do, take a break for a few minutes and come back. The rest of the tips that I have for you are more academic tips to help you get the most out of your lecture so that you can be a successful nursing student. It is an excellent idea to at least skim the lecture assigned readings before class so you have an idea of what they're going to be talking about, and do some practice questions at the end of the chapters or out of one of your NCLEX study guides if you can. During lecture, make sure that you do ask for clarification if there are any points that are unclear. If you don't ask the question, then you're not going to have a good answer for it. Take careful notes and pay attention during the class. Be engaged in this process, and I honestly think taking notes by hand sometimes is a little more helpful than just typing them. And make sure that you can read your notes that you wrote down, because if you can't read them, you're not going to know what you were thinking when you get back to your room later. So review your notes right after class. Make sure that you do take the time right then to ask if there are further questions that you have, and maybe to discuss some of these with friends as well, because sometimes bouncing ideas off of other people in class, they may have heard something different than what you heard, and they may be able to actually be really helpful to clear up any misconceptions that you may have. And it may turn out that you all have the same question, and maybe there was just a part of the lecture that was really unclear. We are human and we sometimes make mistakes, so it's a good idea to ask us if you need anything. A few things that you should remind yourself along the way, because nursing school can be a little discouraging at times. You already know how to study well. You know how to take tests effectively. If you didn't, you wouldn't have made it this far already. And you know that you don't know everything yet, so don't act like a know-it-all. No one likes that. But you can learn a lot from your instructors. We have a vested interest in your success. You can also learn a lot from your mistakes if you're willing to sit down and have that honest self-talk. You need to believe in yourself, believe in your abilities, that you can do this. There are far lesser people who have made it through nursing school than yourself, and you will make it through as well. And remember that you got this. So those are really the tips I have for you to succeed in nursing school as far as the classroom content of school. And I know a lot of you probably are a little stressed out about thinking about clinicals and even like skills lab. And I have taught clinicals, I've taught skills lab, I have a lot of practical experience myself as a nurse. And I'm going to be sharing all of that with you as we go. One thing I do want to emphasize is that as a nurse, you really are in charge of people's lives in some cases, people's well-being. People are telling you some of the most personal details of their life that they wouldn't want anyone else to know. So it is really important that you start developing, if you don't already have a strong set of ethics and personal standards, you really, really need to develop that early on, and nursing school is the best time to do that. Your instructors are also going to be double checking behind you to make sure that you are showing really good qualities that are going to make us not only proud of you to come out of our programs and to represent our profession, but that you're also safe in case you're taking care of us or one of our family members one day, okay? So I'm going to have a lot of tips for you to help you to be able to succeed in this profession. I happen to love the profession of nursing. I'm really glad that I've done it for so long. Gosh, I can't believe it's been 20 years. It's crazy. And some of these instructions that I gave you today are pretty simplistic, but just keep in mind, you're already a good student if you are in nursing school, and you got this. You really have got this. Okay, please subscribe if you want more, comment if you care to, and give me some suggestions about some things that you would like to have discussed on this channel, because I have been through it, pretty much been through it all at this point, and I would absolutely love to share some perspectives for you and help you to succeed in this profession. Okay, this is Hillary for the Nurse Preceptor, signing off.